Alright, Saints Nation, thanks for sticking around. Game number 2 just about to get underway, currently in the midst of yet another draft phase. This time, St. Clair going to be opting for the blue side. Curious as to what kind of adjustments they need, because of course that one definitely would rattle your psyche for the side of St. Clair, because everybody, for the most part, was having themselves a rough time one way or another. Like, I think Elazi, of course, sure, he got 9 eliminations, but you could only keep him alive so much. Yansua was making plays everywhere. Active Force had himself a mixed bag. Gruber trying to support as much as possible, and then Frez trying to do as much DPS as possible as well, but Capstrax definitely gave him a hard time there in this mid lane. Showing that ranked play isn't everything, considering some of these guys, of course, like I was saying earlier, sitting there currently unranked, but skills are still there, even if they aren't necessarily a part of the ranked solo queue ladder. And the only ban really differing as of this moment is actually going to be a Gangplank ban from St. Clair, going to take that away from Chicken Delivery. Going to possibly let Kubra have himself a bit of a better time. Kaisa is actually still available here if they want to first pick this for Lazi. That's exactly what we're going to end up seeing here in this situation. Of course, Lassie was very strong during scrims with this, and it's just a very solid 80 carry right now in this current metagame. On the contrary, however, the Shen is going to go over to Chicken Delivery, which means Cooper is going to have to go on to something else. What else does he have in his champion pool? We'll have to see. Honestly, Jungler in Pain, if I was him, just pick right, or if he wants it later on, just pick the Graves, but he's actually going to stick with the Jhin, give it back to Logia. I mean, that bot lane didn't do bad by any means, but a lot of plays were definitely focused down there. Was not able to convert themselves into a victory, at least that time. Back to Force and Frez looking to pick next time by. Who do they end up picking up next in this situation? Anivia is going to be picked up here for Frez. Okay, can bring out the constant pressure, constant wave clear. Just farm up into the later game. It could still be an absolute threat if necessary. So, much better pick, I think, for Frez here in this situation. Then who's he going to pick up for somebody? I have to see. This is going to be a Men's Foe classic here, as the Pantheon is picked up for Pantheon support down in the bot lane. So not only did the Saints get to pick up the Kaisa, but they're going to try and get aggressive with it looks like. Because, I mean, Men's Foe, if this is a Pantheon going down to that bot lane, we've seen him constantly doing roaming during the fall season with this Pantheon. He would do it with Pantheon and Leona, and he would just find himself in other people's lanes and just set up constant kills and let Lazi farm. Lee Sin actually going to be picked up here. First time I've seen a Lee Sin in a good while, actually. Jungler in Pain possibly going to pick that one up, which would be very odd considering the Graves was still available. Unless he's just feeling stylish, which is always possible. I mean, with it being a best of 3, if they wanted to really try and be flashy or try something different, they very well could. Bans are back on the table. They're going to take the Seraphine away. Of course, they could have still gone down to support if they really wanted to flex that Pantheon over to Kubra, but probably not going to be the case. The Orianna going to get taken away from Cabstract, so no classic Orianna versus Anivia here, no Season 2 classic battles. And it's Talia going to be taken off as well. Jungler seeing a little bit more play as of late. And then lastly, going to get rid of the Galio. So all bans are off the table. Everything else is on the board. What does Logia want to pick? And how is St. Clair going to round out this composition? In theory, we still need a top laner, and we still need a jungler on the side of St. Clair. Meanwhile, on the side of York University, we have ourselves a support and a mid laner, and then we're looking bursty. It's going to be the Syndra coming out here from Cabstract. Classic Burst Mage. Wombo combos, 100 to zeros, definitely love to see it. Not if you're Frez. I mean, at least you have that egg passive as a Nivea, where you instantly get to possibly respawn yourself if enough time goes by without taking too much damage. And this is going to be a Kubra Gnar actually coming out. Opting for Little Beast Yordle. So we still need a jungler in a situation unless it's a Pantheon jungle, which I'd be very surprised for. Of course, Graves still making it so far into this draft here. I mean, Jungler in Pain did a fantastic job with them last time by. And it is going to be a Pantheon jungle coming out here from Active Force. Did not expect this. Change of playstyles here from the St. Clair squad, just in Champion Select alone, is curious and concerning, but I'm looking forward to seeing how they can try to pull this one off. I feel like there is a lot of options still on the table, and we're going to see Soraka coming out here for Invent. Something a little bit more passive at the same time, if you don't mind just sitting back farming and keeping your team healthy. I mean, you're right where you want to be there with Soraka. Of course, just in the quickest of moments here, get to see where these champions end up locking in. It does appear that's exactly what we're going to end up seeing. So first time I'm going to see a Pantheon 4 Active Force. And of course, this is Kubra's second game here in Varsity, and we're going to see him pick up the Gnar this time by after his Shen gets stolen away. Frez back in the mid lane, going to be picking up the Anivia, going to be trying to play rather safe around the Syndra from Cabstract. Lazzy, I mean, he's got the hyper carry potential there with Kaisa, but can he get far enough into the game where that actually does become a factor? We'll have to see. And Mansvo just going to be everybody's favorite bodyguard there with the Braum. Of course, a bit of a mixed bag once again here. Of course, chat, if you want to help discuss team compositions with me, I'll definitely accept it here in this situation here. I don't ever recall seeing Active Force actually picking up the Rex side, but it definitely does make sense. But we're going to see shot for shot, aggression with aggression possibly here. And Lee Sin, of course, rather high skill ceiling on that character, or on that champion rather. We'll have to see. I mean, Graves, I'm surprised that Graves just got completely lit through this entire game. Normally, I felt like in the way the metagame has been going so far in this season, that's basically a must pick, or a must pick away, but you never really ban it. But it's gonna go to the wayside this time here. I mean, after game number 1, 2, or after game number 1 rather, I am a little bit worried for Frez specifically. Of course, that's brand new or back for the season. And your first game back is a rough one, to say the least. Shake that off, get back into it, and play as safe as possible here. Of course, Anivia versus Syndra. And we know that Jungler in Pain is going to be looking towards that mid lane if it worked as much as it did in the last game. Granted, this time, Invent is not so much on a more damage-focused support. If anything, he's on the complete opposite now, as he's on the Soraka in this situation. And Soraka doesn't do very much damage at all. It's all about the healing from that champion. Yeah, going to be putting the damage trusting into Syndra and Jhin compared to where everybody had some sort of DPS threat last time by. But then, other than... I'm trying to think of how much damage Pantheon does. And I think it does a decent amount at least. But again, very similar situation. Keep an eye on this St. Clair bot lane as we do move forward. Because, of course, I feel like a lot of resources are going to be focused there. Try and keep Lazzy safe and push him towards the later game. Granted, Kaisa could still do some decent stuff. It's not like a Vayne or something that just takes an absolute eternity. Or like a Jinx that takes an eternity to actually turn on and go. But later we go, the better there, nonetheless. And same thing for Frez's Anivia, to be honest. Like, it's going to be doing a ton of damage. Those icicles, I know, once you frost them up a little bit, the frostbite's going to hurt like hell. But probably almost two-shot a squishy. But just a few more moments before we do hop into game number 2. Of course, Saints looking for the rebound after a very rough game number 1. And before we do hop into it, big thank you to everybody tuning in. Of course, always a pleasure broadcasting these matches here for you all. Whether you're here for the York University side or the St. Clair side, it's always a pleasure. Of course, big thank you to our sponsors as well. St. Clair College, Tim Hortons, St. Clair SRC, Zuckelman School of Business and IT, PC Outlet, and St. Clair Alumni Association. Couldn't do it without you, and we're happy that we're able to put on the show here for everybody. Especially now that this new season's just about around the corner, we're going to have ourselves 7 days of constant action, or 7 nights of action a week with the way things have been going. And looking forward to getting things started. Let's see some Griffins. I see WS right there with some Griffins. Can we have some Griffins to match his and get this guy, or get this team, the momentum, the spirit bomb that they need to move forward here for game number 2? I want to see it. And as soon as I was about to switch into the game and start hyping things up, we have ourselves a pause. It is what it is, unfortunately. Somebody running from the bathroom, apparently. Jungler in pain for a whole nother reason, apparently. Chugged his water too quickly. Yeah, it shouldn't be too much longer here. As of right now, it looks like something a little bit interesting coming out of the side of St. Clair. We do resume. We're going to hop right into the action as soon as I stop getting baited by my client. There we go. One thing we see here, Saints all moving as a group of 5, as a full unit going towards that red buff. And could maybe turn us here on the chicken delivery. It could be deja vu, but this time it could be chicken delivery in for a world of hurt. Does Active Force have his stun? He did take his stun right off the bat. Can they get the slow or the stun off from the Braum? Gonna be able to successfully do it. Chicken delivery going down. First blood over to Lazi. And now we could have ourselves a massive battle in the jungle once again. This red side red buff seems to be an absolute bloodbath, at least from game 1 and now going into game 2. But Saints are actually going to opt to retreat in this situation, including Active Force. They're not going to try and steal the red buff. They just took the elimination, took the kill, let Lazi go into game or go into the lane with an extra longsword for some extra damage. And then maybe he can use that to try and snowball that bot lane as well. And just end up leeching over Active Force, get him moving a little bit. Just in time for the red buff, so perfectly timed here from St. Clair. Nicely done nonetheless. Loki is Russian though. You see him a little bit on the mini-map actually. Was essentially right by the Saints turret, just waiting for minions to start blasting that forward. Try and get an early level 2. At least for himself, because of course, Soraka level 2, I feel like that's not as threatening as you might think. We can see it already right now. Lazi is just able to constantly chunk down Logia. Granted, Invent is going to be able to keep topping him off once he does have his heal available. That does burn through a lot of mana to do so. Not going to be able to do that forever. Level 2 is actually going to go over to Mansfo and Lazi. The snowball missing its mark. Invent would have been a sitting duck, but at least they're going to be pushed aside in regards to farm. Cooper 3 up here in the top lane does beat out Chicken Delivery. Of course, didn't get an assist on the kill that did happen up by the red side, but going to at least be able to put a little bit of damage. Of course, once Cooper 3's Gnar gets angry enough, transforms into Big Gnar. Goes full Hulk mode. And Active Force, a little bit low on health, but he's actually invading the jungle on the side of York University. Take away the Krugs. No aggression going to be had, though. Everybody just farming up at this point. The only real aggression is basically just Lazi and Mansfo trying to push away Logia and Invent away. That being said, though, going to be trading shot for shot, or not shot for shot. It's shot for shot if they actually shoot back. But Mansfo going to take a little bit of heat, at least, in that situation. So a rather even lane, and now level 3 actually here for Logia and Invent, so they're going to be able to push this thing right back forward. And actually, at the same, or right at the right time actually. Active Force is in the bot side of this jungle. Jungler in Pain not too far away as well, looking for the Scuttle Crab, and he could very well make his way to either mid or towards the bot lane if he wishes. And actually, okay, Invent can put himself into a little bit of damage, and we have ourselves the second pause here in this game. Looking like it's coming out from the side of York University as well. So once again, apparently under a lag spike situation here for Cabstract specifically. So I'm going to take a quick moment, hope that subsides. But at the end of the day, he's lagging. We have to keep on playing. He does, of course, have a decent chunk of time to wait here on this pause, however. So we'll have to see. So much better start here for Saints, at least across the board anyway. Of course, last year's we get First Blood, always a plus. And then right now, and it's still really early, obviously, but the race to 20, it's pretty much dead even for Frez and Cabstract. Of course, if Cabstract is lagging, that very well may understand why that might be the case. And then Nar and Chicken, or Nar, Kubra and Chicken Delivery basically neck and neck with each other at this point. And then the only real difference in the situation would be Jungler in Pain versus Active Force, where Active Force has been out there trying to look for some more plays. The Lisa and Jungler in Pain from York University has been sitting there farming as much as possible. Probably try to get to level 4 as quick as possible, then try to make the move. Of course, he was at the Scuttle Crab right before this pause did get underway. Curious if he will end up going bot. Considering his mid laner might be lagging, you might want to try and avoid that, let that subside. Try not to make or force a play somebody who you know is having a hard time. So we'll have to see momentarily. I'm saying some R's in the chat, so it should be really quickly before we hop right back into the game. An awkward pause-filled start of the season, or start of the semester here for Saints matches, but thankfully they haven't been too long here. Game just about to get back underway. I mean, Invent still, for picking up the Soraka, which of course, like I was saying before, is more of the healer type of support, still finding his mark to do as much DPS as possible, keeping Lousy and Mansfolk down to about half. And actually, they do catch the fact that Lokia backed in this situation. Invent is going to get stunned, but is there enough DPS to take him down? Tops himself off, Ignite is ticking, and Mansfolk going to buy a thread. Take care of Invent after Logia goes back to buy, and Invent got a little bit too greedy. Moved forward, Mansfolk and Lassie jumped on that right away. So it's going to be one kill each for the bot lane of St. Clair. We're in Pain, looking to try and make a play here onto Frez. Ward hops over, is going to slow him down. The Pantheon is here, but it's going to be too little, too late. Frez is going to be taken down, but of course knocked into egg form. They're going to try and burst him down. And actually, Chicken Delivery is here as well. Mansfolk from the back, actually, as well, to try and help, but it's going to be too little, too late. Frez is going to be going down. And we also have Invent here, topping everybody off in the back line. Going to keep everybody nice and safe. Cabstract going to find his first kill here of this game. And a rough play, and this is an awkward little teleport. Oh no, this is Frez coming back in to get some farm, so this makes sense. But a rough play, and now the play towards Dragon is on the books here for York University. In theory, Mansfolk should be able to see this. That being said, though, Jungler in Pain there, ready and waiting with the smite. Gonna just try and Hail Mary snowball it, because it looks like nobody else on the side of St. Clair is gonna get there. Fires off the snowball a little bit too soon. And it's going to be smited over there, Jungler in Pain, picking up the Windrake. And going to tie this game up on gold. 9,000 apiece, 9,100 apiece now for both these teams. Was definitely quite the skirmish there in that mid lane. Was a little bit rough to see. Frez does end up going down, even through his passive egg form. But granted, it took like 4 players on the side of York University to get that and one other kill, as I believe Active Force also went down in that situation. In regards to anybody really being behind, I think Active Force is the only one who find himself behind at all in this situation. A little bit low on farm, but now that I actually have to really think about it, or actually see, it's only 32 to 40, so it's not too bad. Especially with the one assist in his pocket. Somewhere in pain. Around the Dragon Pit. Looking to try and make a move. Capstract might be making a rotation as well. Teleport coming down. This could be brutal. Lazzie's going to be the one taken down. A good flash away, but he's going to be stand united and taunted on. Lazzie's not going to be able to move at all. Capstract's going to blow the ulti as well just to make sure they go down. Mienzo is not long for this world. That's a 5-player dive bot to take 2 of the Saints down. Bot lane murked in this situation. Now everybody's got to go home at this point. No dragon to try and contest for this time. And with a play like that, that will, for at least the moment, put St. Clair behind. But at least the Saints are going to be able to farm up a little bit, considering everybody dove bot. So Kubra is going to have some time to catch up. He was behind on CS, I think, for a little bit there. Was able to surpass after that stand united. Again, wet noodle fight up here in the top lane. Kubra, of course, with a little bit of extra range, is actually going to try and ult chicken delivery. Does not go into the wall. Stun still hits, but actually, even through the ultimate, Kubra just doesn't have the damage right now to try and mess with chicken delivery. Granted, that ulti does not come off as... Or it is a bit of a longer cooldown. Never mind, I thought it was going pretty quickly. But not actually the case. Going to be kind of stuck here without that resource for at least a little bit longer. And it could be in a brutal time, especially since the blue side of the jungle, it'll be getting invaded on. Lassie down here with Mienzo on the bot lane, trying to find something. And Kubra is going to get himself taken down by rule number 1 of League of Legends. Don't face check a bush if you think somebody's there. And that is going to be the takedown. Jungler in pain going to get the elimination credits for that one. Second kill of the game. And the fact that Invent can just keep on healing things off means that Lassie, they have to burst it if they really want to try and do it. The exhaust is coming in right at the right time. It's going to keep Logia alive for at least a little bit longer. They're going to try and pull out the curtain call here. Mienzo is going to be forced to try and block everything. Otherwise, Lassie will definitely go down. But now, Mienzo has put himself in trouble. This is a very scary fight. They're going to go after the healer. Active Force is here as well. Lassie going to find one. Active Force going to find the other. But now, we do have Capstract here, looking for the play. The Braum ulti going to miss the mark, unfortunately, there for Mienzo, but it would have kept him alive had Capstract went aggressive. Lassie extremely low on health. Chicken delivery is here as well. Used to stand united to come on down here, but just took a ton of damage for what it's worth. Lots of low health bars on the side of St. Clair, but nobody goes down as long as they can get back to base safely. And actually, with that play, Saints tie this one back up. Sure, they're down a kill, but were able to farm up and actually take themselves the tiniest of leads. But still, a back and forth game here for game number 2. Jungler in pain. Is he going to go after Kubra, especially since he's in Mega Gnar form? Toast and some toast calling me. Oh, yeah, you're right. The first rule of League of Legends is don't chase a Singe. You're absolutely right. My rule's number 2 then. So Kubra probably looking for Eternity Force sometime soon. Jungler in Pain is going to be able to solo off this Rift Herald momentarily here. But one thing I do like from the St. Clair composition, at least as of right now, it feels like there's more damage threats across the board compared to, I guess we're just putting this all on Lassie and Frez and hoping for the best. It does allow for everybody to make their own individual play if necessary. Yes, Mienzo is probably the only one who really doesn't have a whole heck of a lot of damage, He is, of course, the strictest of supports here in this situation. And Saints find themselves the opening, especially with Jungler and Pain up in the top side, to take this dragon, get themselves this Ocean Drake, and no questions asked and no contest. Saints are going to take this one dragon apiece. Jungler and Pain still hanging around. I think that would have been the Gromp area, right around Kubra. Drops a ward and it's going to opt to move away. Active Force looking to possibly set up the dive here. Of course, if you want to deal with Soraka, you got to burst them. There is reinforcements on the way, though. Cabstrax right around the corner. Can they take down Lazi? That's a lot of damage coming down, a lot of splash damage across the Saints here. Lazi going to use his ulti and try and get out of dodge. Frez is here as well. They're on the bird trying to make something happen, but here comes Jungler in Pain. The passive is going to be knocked, but he is in the middle of a ton of the York University team. That's not going to be very long for this world. Shutdown gold actually going over to Mienzfo as the Ignite actually took the kill onto Jungler in Pain, but there's still a 2-on-2, and the Saints don't have that much health left to really make something happen. And sure enough, that is going to be a double kill. In fact, the shutdown going over to Cabstract. 6 kills and 0 deaths, 2 assists. You will be 100-0'd by Cabstract's Syndra pretty much without question. Even the tanks I don't think are really safe here in this situation. Maybe, yeah, Braum with his shield is probably the only thing that can for sure survive Cabstract in this moment. And Cabstract, I mean, he's been doing right. Just constantly, like, the second or third person into the fight, never really being the one getting focused, but has been able to sit there and just dump a ton of splash damage onto everybody, a bunch of AoE. Of course, that being one of Syndra's strengths, of course, those basic abilities, being able to hit multiple things at once and then just constantly just single somebody out there with the ultimate, doing exactly what he needs to do. Has Luden's Echo here as well. Is Echo still, right? Tempest. Okay, see, I would have got baited. Picks up the big item there. Going to be doing a ton of damage. Okay, 3 players down bot here for the side of York, and Mienzfo going to be put into a world of hurt once again. The flash kick onto Lassie puts him in a really bad spot, especially with that Ignite onto him. He's not going to be able to do that much damage at all. And you know what? Just come on down anyway, Cabstract. How about you be player 4 to the fight this time by and find your 7th kill in the game? With Rift Herald going down bot as well, those towers are not long for this world. Chicken delivery ahead in regards to his levels, and actually Active Force coming in hot here, going to try and help out Kubra, push him forward, and it's going to give Active Force the elimination and give Kubra the assist on that situation. Hopefully he can finally get himself, oh my god, it's not even an ultimate, that's just a 1-2 punch. And there goes half of Frez's health. So a turret and a half here down bot, and then of course Cabstract's been able to constantly pressure this mid turret as well. That will not be long here as well. Kubra and Active Force going to try and take this one down. They should be able to at least trade 1 turret. In fact, they're going to be able to do so. Keep this game within 2,000 gold, but the lead has definitely been growing here on the side of York University. Then at least this time for St. Clair, if they do need to stall things out and just farm it up, I think their composition is a little bit better suited compared to the Draven Seraphine combo that they were kind of going with last time. Of course, Saints still not out of this just yet. Around a very similar spot to where they were in the last game, but this time a lot more eggs are in the basket of Cabstract. Now they're going to try and make something happen. Can they make it work? Mienzfo's unfortunately not going to hit anything. Are they going to be able to trade this 1-for-1? Lassie is extremely low. He's just going to go down. Cabstract lives. Never mind. But the shutdown gold goes over to Mienzfo's Braum, which, if you're going to have shutdown gold go over to anybody, that's unfortunately the last kind of person you want to go to. Sure, Mansfo is going to be an absolute tank, but you need somebody to take someone or take the players down. Perez is going to be not long for this world. Does he have his dancing shoes on? Going to be able to keep going for at least a moment, but it's pretty low on health. Going to try and burst down the Soraka, and is going to be put down into the egg form. It's 4 players, 1 egg. That video doesn't go very well, and it's going to be taken down here. Perez with his 3rd death on the game. Definitely a rough series for him. Game 1. Abstract had his number there as well. And as of right now, it started much better, at least farm-wise. He's right on pace. But the amount of pressure that Cabstract, the amount of involvement that he's been in every single one of these kills. Like, there's been 15 kills for his team. He's been a part of 11 of them. At least he can farm himself up. That bot tower very well may end up going down, but if the Saints can manage to get themselves a Herald to possibly find themselves a tower back, maybe scrape some gold together, they're going to be able to get that done, so solid nonetheless. They're hanging in there, to be completely honest. Like, objective-wise, they're not doing bad, just a lot of these team fights just are not going in their favor. Getting a little extra background information from the chat here as well. So, of course, Cabstract was one of the players that did say unranked. So here I am thinking it's a player that may be like around Platinum, maybe around Diamond, but apparently Cabstract is a Grandmasters player if I were to listen to Twitch chat, which I know technically streaming 101, you're technically not supposed to, but I'll trust you this time, bye. Because Cabstract is definitely playing like it here, all over the place, getting involved, and is winning these lanes. And if that is the case, then Frez definitely had an uphill battle to climb right from the beginning here of this series. Oh, the Sin United actually used here. Chicken Delivery and Summer Pain trying to make the play. There's a kick, and that's going to be Lassie going right into the middle of the team. Lassie's going to try and get out of dodge before trying to turn anything. He is so low on HP. Nar going to get the kill onto Logia. So Cooper's going to find himself his first kill of the game. Going in Mega Nar style, going to try and catch Jungler in Pain. Does keep him in check. The double stun actually onto Invent as well. They're going to chase them all down. Jungler in Pain goes down to Frez. Frez on the kill board. Going to clean that up. But actually Cabstract has finally arrived. And you'll see all the Saints probably tuck their tail and run here in this situation, considering if they all go in the same way, that is a lot of burst damage. I could easily turn a 1v3 even. But still, Saints managed the 3 for nothing, and I think a tower as well in that skirmish. And if anything, that's a nice boost of momentum going into the 20-minute mark of this game. I want to give Invent some credit too, and he's definitely showing his mix of play styles and his champion pool, and he's not set to one style. How does one go from a Pyke getting a pentakill to saying, you know what, I'll play Soraka? Two polar opposites, of course, in regards to character style and play style, but even still able to pick it up and has been involved in almost every elimination on his team, as he has himself 12 assists. Just the running ambulance, basically, in this case, keeping his team topped off the best as possible. Doesn't need to be high levels, just trying to keep everybody safe. That being said, Kubra in a bit of an awkward spot. Nice little stun, though! Gets the ultimate off. Now Active Force is here, as well as Frez. They might be able to turn this. A huge play for Kubra to turn this one around. Active Force of Frez coming in right at the right time as well. Lassie wants in on the action. We have the whole crew here. Take them down, and Dragon's actually right around the corner. 2-0. Huge turnaround here for St. Clair. Getting themselves actually the lead here in game number 2 after what was looking like a rather skeptical one, to say the least. going to actually push towards. Is this going to be a Baron Pit attempt? They're going to try and clear up as much vision as possible, but they're walking through so much vision, they have to know that something is going down here. And they're going to pop the Herald, interestingly enough. Curtain call coming out here from Logia. They have been spotted. Where is Cabstract? He's all the way down bot. He does have TP, but are they actually going to use it? Not going to be the case, and wow. Okay, so he's going to be able to secure Baron Nashor. So that could have been close. Active Force, I don't think, had his smite available for that, so it was a very scary, very risky maneuver coming out there for the St. Clair Saints, but they do manage to pull ahead there with the Baron buff intact. Dragon, however, unless Saints could get there in time, should go into the hands of York University. That would be Dragon number 3 in their pocket. Not sure if the Saints know that's going to be the case. I'm not sure if they really care, to be honest. They're going to know now, as the Dragon does end up going down. And up at the top lane as well, Shelly and Cooper 3 going to take down one turret. Can there be one more shot? Not in time. Going to be taken down by Cabstract. So a couple missed opportunities there for York University, and St. Clair turn it around. Of course, get themselves the lead. Is it time to group up for a team fight? What do you do in this situation? Of course, objectives off the board, with the exception of turrets. Of course, bot turrets still up, as they've just pinged out actually from St. Clair, as the bot lane tier 1 still in the game. There's Cabstract to find 200 CS first here in this game. Short to follow by Lassie. You do see Frez actually pushing this up here alongside Active Force. Going to use these Baroned up minions to take down these turrets, because the fact these turrets are still standing and they already have themselves a lead means these turrets going down are just going to give them that much more of a lead. This is all just bonus gold to go towards their lead, and it's perfect in this situation, as they're now going to be looking for tier 2 turret on the bot side, with only Chicken Delivery there to defend as of this moment. And of course, he's not going to be able to do it alone. Going to be forced to bring back Invent, and I think Logia is right there with them, but that turret is already about halfway down. We're running out of minions in this situation, but they do still have the cannon. It is eventually going to go down. That turret is like one shot away, so if you're fighting around that turret, you have to know to not rely on it too much, because it's probably going to go down from one pop from Lassie here, maybe a second one because I'm a liar, and there it goes. Kubra 3 actually with the split push up on the top lane as well. Chicken Delivery, I don't think could handle him. Kubra has found himself in a 2-level lead on to Chicken Delivery, as I think Chicken Delivery has just been roaming around trying to make more plays than Kubra. And by doing so, with some of them paying off and not others, like that one down in the bot lane, they tried to make something happen, and Kubra actually turned it around on both of them. Puts him behind a little bit. There's definitely a good heads-up play there. I know it was a little while ago there, but still was a fantastic highlight there for Kubra down in that bot lane, where he was dealing with Chicken Delivery and Jungler in pain. As soon as they both jump at him, Mega Gnar right into the wall, get his follow-up stun, and then enough time has passed where his team could follow up. It was a perfect play on his part. Nice to see him. Even though maybe the varsity team rookie, still cool-headed enough to make those plays even when you're outnumbered. All grouped up with the exception of Cooper 3, who's going to be pushing down that bot side, try to push it to the inhibitor towers, if anything. And of course, with Frez and the rest of the squad there, they can clean up this their minion waves nice and quick and just keep on pushing forward. Chicken Delivery going to be trying to split push the top side, try and catch back up, and hopefully be able to just... oh my god, hang on a second though. Frez nearly get himself popped. That's going to be the Zanyas, I believe, coming out. And he's going to flash out just in time. Those Zanyas get out of stopwatch. Get with the modern times here, Danners, as we do have ourselves a battle. Lassie trying to take down Jungler in pain. And everybody else. And we do have a huge Gnar actually coming out here from Kubra. That took 3 members on the side of York University, and everybody on York seems to be falling here. Chicken Delivery walled off. That was a nice wall there from Frez. But the shutdown, actually, the Soraka, that's going to be Invent, finding the elimination on to Lassie and Mansfo. both the casualties on the side of St. Clair. Logia still alive here and can be topped off by Invent if necessary. Chicken Delivery lead in charge as well. So with the tank line, nonetheless, Kubra and Actiforce being the ones alive, and then Frez, they're going to back this one up and try to defend this mid tower, as we do see, I believe, that Chicken Delivery pushing down the center. Just trying to make sure that they don't lose another tower half-heartedly. So make that another highlight moment there for the rookie, Kubra, finding the 3-player Gnar into the wall, which of course he hit that into the wall. That is a stun. Able to turn that around. It may have stopped Cabstract from finding as much damage as they normally would have wanted. Kubra, of course, still has his teleport, but he is here with the team. Dragon might be right around the corner at this time. Is in fact right around the corner. Do see the mark on the mini-map, so that's going to be the next objective for contest here in the bot side of the river. And yes, Frez can stall things out. That's a lot of damage, though. Actiforce getting put extremely low. Going to be forced to Lassie to try and get that last hit onto that dragon. Going to pick it up rather, and it's going to be dragon number 2 for St. Clair, hanging on to this lead. But all of these plays that they are making feel like they could very well tip, like it's on the knife's edge of sorts. For yes, they're getting it, but one wrong move and that entire play can just fall over on its face. Baron actually next on the docket here. Curtain call to scout, and Mansfo is going to tank this here with his shield up ready to go. Jungler in pain. Right here ready. Actiforce does have his smite. Both junglers have the smite. 50-50 opportunity here. Who is going to be able to take care of this as it's right down? Nice little stun there from Mansfo, and it's going to allow Actiforce to get this Baron pretty well uncontested. Jungler in pain going to get absolutely popped by Lassie. And it's going to be actually Cabstract. He's completely ganked and completely held back here from Kubra and Frez. Pinned away, could not do anything. Now they're going to chase this down onto Invent. It's going to be the 3-4-0. The 3-4-0 plus a Baron, and we're probably going to find some additional turrets here. Huge play here for St. Clair. Fighting hard and doing their damnedest to try and bring this to a game number 3. Yeah, absolutely fantastic, especially considering how rough game number 1 went. A lesser team would have been absolutely devastated and crumbled. But here is the St. Clair squad still fighting away. Inhibitor down. And then, okay, Actiforce did go back to deal with Chicken Delivery, so no free inhibitor on the bot side. Go back, get yourself some additional items. Come fighting back here with this Baron buff. Maybe push either the top or the bot side. Okay, Kubra does get out of there just in the nick of time, as it's going to be Chicken Delivery and Jungler in pain, looking to put some pressure onto him. The Nutty Gnar, indeed. I could not have said it better myself. Kubra again, of course, making things work here. A nice little wall, too, in that Baron play. The fact that Cabstract could not move at all. The Gnar right into the wall, and you drop the ice wall from Frez's Anivia. Cabstract is basically a non-factor. The only thing that Cabstract could do in that situation was just attack Kubra. And I mean, if there's going to be one player that you would want to attack, it'd probably be either Kubra or Mansfo, given their tankiness. So nicely done from the Saint squad, playing to their characters' strengths and rocking the abilities to make it work. That being said, though, Lassie and Mansfo may have found the the Chicken Delivery and the teleport. Actually, no, it's not the teleport out of there. He's actually just going to use his Stand United, use his ultimate to get out of dodge in that situation. And just not enough auto attacks to force the Braum stun out of him. But yeah, now that split push idea is off the table unless Chicken Delivery wants to opt for a teleport play instead. He is going to go down to the bot side to meet up with Kubra. Kubra does have his teleport available as well. Now, double cannon minion down here on the bot side, slowly chipping away at the turret. Kubra going to defend them as best as possible. Chicken Delivery cannot really do anything in this situation. So slowly but surely that tower is going to get whittled down, and then the pressure is going to keep continuing here. They have the Anivia. Frez is going to be able to just constantly keep clearing out these waves nice and quick and try to make a play there with the Ice Wall and the stun as well. Logia taking a little bit of heat. His tower up on the top side is going to be down to about half HP. Red turret does end up going down. That's a huge blast here from Cabstrack. That Scatter of the Weak really making things hurt here for the St. Clair squad. But that top tower goes down, and now actually Kubra is thinking about maybe making a move towards that inhibitor. Can Saints find themselves a second? Super minions are in the center lane. They have to make a move if they want to stop this top turret from going, or this top inhibitor from going down. Mansfo stays alive. He tanks the ult. That's going to be another huge Gnar coming out here. They take down the healer. Invent taken off the board. They take down Cabstrax. Lassie going to be credited with a kill. It's a big damage coming up here from Frez as well, but the kill's going to be credited over to Lassie. And we're going to see Chicken Delivery go down as well. That is an ace. And St. Clair, after a very tough and honestly terrible game number 1, come back strong. Looking fantastic here versus York University. Keeping their heads held high, taking game number 2. We're going to have ourselves a game 3 battle. You'll love to see it. Holy moly, definitely would not have expected a game like that after game number 1. I can't stress it enough. I know I say it over and over again, but that was brutal. And then they all of a sudden, they come back strong. Lassie find himself with 11 eliminations here in this game. Frez was an absolute unit as well. Kubra, how many of those damn Gnars was getting multiple players or the key players if necessary in that situation? Whether it was just the Syndra or just the healer who was finding those shots. Active Force was saving everything's up, or saving everybody. Mansfo was keeping everybody alive, being the best bodyguard NA, and he takes care of that. Now, we go into a game 3. Looks like we're going to be switching sides once again. St. Clair going to be stuck on the red side of things. And we're going to take ourselves a very quick break in a moment. I got to catch my breath, get some water real fast as we're going into game number 3. Please do stay tuned.